It is with great pride and pleasure I introduce to you Luana Kinsey Simon, the 20th President of Michigan State University.
Thank you very much. And let's all again join in congratulating the faculty, staff, graduate students, and our community partners for the great work they've done. The work of our faculty and staff really inspire us every day as a part of Team MSU. Today is actually the Founders Day, February 12th, for Michigan State University, a day to celebrate the powerful vision that represented by the Morrill Act. This is the sesquicentennial of the Morrill Act, and lots has been said about its role in powering the prosperity for America and being a model for higher education around the globe. So in our centennial in 1955, we were heralded as an institution that would expand intellectual, demographic, and geographic reach of Michigan State, based still on these land-grant values and this pioneering spirit. On the occasion of the sesquicentennial, I heralded the accomplishments of Michigan State and our responsibility to be a great university for the 21st century, built on passion and excellence and the extension of our land-grant legacy into a dynamic, global, world-class destiny. A destiny that recognized the gale force winds that were buffeting higher education, a destiny that demanded passion, determination, and innovation, a destiny that kept Michigan State among the top universities in the world, a destiny that required the courage to be at the forefront of the next transformation of higher education. The strategic vision and our fundamental values were framed in boldness by design. Our collective work was organized under 5 imperatives: to enhance the student experience, enrich community, economic, and family life, expand our international reach, increase research opportunities, and strengthen stewardship. The real work, the implementation plans, were identified through extensive dialogue with the university and through the normal, usual planning processes. Metrics were identified and our progress was measured. Accomplishments have been celebrated. I hope you followed our collective accomplishments by visiting our online news site, MSU Today. And I hope you share MSU stories with your peers at other institutions, family, and friends, because that's a big part of the way we tell our story. We all do it. You also can see Team MSU in action in this year's President's Report, which is unfolding now online. You'll find the link to Spartan's Will 360 on the homepage, msu.edu. So I won't spend a lot of time going over all that. I just encourage you to pay attention every day to those accomplishments and feel great pride in them. But when the financial circumstance of the state worsened and the recession hit, we took the basic aspirations and framework of boldness by design and overlaid the need to address the large loss of our purchasing power and the major state cuts to ag bio research and extension. Under the rubric of shaping the future, the university stepped up to the challenges of pushing big ideas like the neighborhood concept, FRIB, the art museum, sustainability. We worked to enhance the value of our work by building quality, increasing productivity through innovation and classic cost containment, and making tough decisions to eliminate programs and activities that were important to too many of our constituents. With the leadership and active engagement of Team MSU, we've not simply weathered that perfect storm, we've made progress in many, many areas. We've emerged from the worst sustained economic challenge in our history. To find the winds continue to blow, we work on 1991 actual dollars per student from the state of Michigan as an example. But more importantly, we find a landscape that's fundamentally changed. Many have written about the aspects of the new reality of higher education, from technology to state funding to competition globally. So we must approach this morphed landscape with the same big vision, values, and passion, creativity, and determination that's marked our founding, our centennial, and our sesquicentennial. Therefore, we spent the last few months in a variety of conversations about how to strengthen our vision, our values, and our framework. The conversations that have reinforced that we must simply be bolder. We must build on strategic vision, values, and framework that was a foundation for boldness by design and shaping the future. We must keep the 5 imperatives, the framework for university-wide initiatives and unit-level ideas. We must continue to use metrics and be very evidence-based in our approaches. And we heard more the need to be explicitly strengthening aspects of the MSU culture, our organizational environment, that facilitates our successes, our global distinctiveness and distinctions, at the same time enhancing big ideas and calculated and prudent risk-taking. So we've added a 6th initiative to Boulder. We must advance a culture of high performance. We We must want to explore what it takes to be a model high-performance institution, one that makes magic, because if we have the discipline to do what it takes to offer high impact and high value results, experiences, and services internally to each other and externally to all that we touch. Boulder leverages our capacity to navigate this new landscape, enhancing our position among the world's top 100 universities. We heard that we need to find ways to communicate, not simply metrics or accomplishments, but how individual actions connect to overarching goals within and across the imperatives. We needed to be guided by audacious, long-range planning goals that required persistent steps and a few big leaps. Therefore, we've included the concept of headlines to help communicate these big ideas. Over the rest of the semester, we'll be continuing to have the dialogue with various groups and the usual planning process about what it means for all of us to contribute, each in our own way, to achieving these big ideas. To dispel the myth that this is simply business as usual or incrementalism without urgency, let me share with you some of those headlines that will guide our work. Imagine MSU in the next 5 to 7 years. We'll be the model for interdisciplinary experiential learning and research engagement that separates us from all the other institutions globally by giving students and our faculty relevant experiences, but at the same time being sure that they're prepared for tomorrow. An undergraduate education that blends the best of the traditional campus with the power of technology to educate a widely sought-after global citizen scholar. New models for academic and college support that services that close the persistent success gap, not simply at Michigan State but elsewhere. Not simply to make incremental progress, but genuinely try to close that gap using things like the neighborhood, the way in which we want to engage all of our students actively in our community. A graduate education that not only grows the number of ranked programs, but leads to offering interdisciplinary and global experiences, while reducing the time to degree and doubling the number of underrepresented students in graduating from our programs. An innovation leader in graduate education, expanding the graduate school's partnership with programs and colleges, boosting parallel mentoring by faculty for academic and career development. The healthiest campus for students and faculty and staff, addressing such issues as obesity, nutrition, lifestyle choices regarding alcohol, drugs, smoking, and fitness. MSU being a model for a truly global university, redefining what it means to study abroad, to learn and work abroad, enriching the way in which we do that through research partnerships, internships, and community engagement. Building a network of international research universities that strengthen collaboration and really lower the work and the cost of doing international research. A leader in new technology to grow connections across the globe. Imagine MSU as a leader in cutting-edge research behind annual external funding of $750 million, hiking our support by $250 million, which is half again today's total. At the same time, doubling our publications and citations and other national and international awards. Exploring not just the frontiers of plant science, but the frontiers of the brain. Growing our pipeline of intellectual property and relations with investors to nurture a regional entrepreneurial ecosystem. Moving the needle on global challenges for humankind, food, water, energy, all those vexing problems. Aligning our strengths to lead major university initiatives for the support of interdisciplinary research teams needed to do all of these kinds of things. A model for cutting-edge scholarship, leaders in outreach and engagement, tracking the world's most vexing problems, and aligning projects intellectually and geographically for better input. The model of 21st century extension, transforming rural and urban communities with initiatives focused on community-defined problems in a global world. MSU would be recognized as a leader of sustainability in theory and practice, broadening the scope of environmental stewardship to address our grand challenges, but doing this in a cost-effective way so we don't shift costs to our students. A successful capital campaign to truly make this a financially sustainable institution, moving us among our peers in external support and closing the gap for support for scholarships, endowments, professorships, and the things that are so critical for our future. An institution that provides value for investment. We would be viewed as one of the best values in any kind of higher education system, not simply in Michigan or the United States, but in the world. MSU would be one of the best places to work. Our culture creates magic every day. Magic for each other, magic for our stakeholders and our students, magic in the way in which we explore the boundaries of scholarship, magic in the way we deal with one another to make our dreams even bigger. We recognize that Boulder is an amalgamation of ideas of many people, creative, passionate people who are dedicated to Michigan State University and dedicated to the professions and disciplines. These are people who believe that we must take full advantage of the changing winds and landscape of global higher education to enhance our excellence, our relevance, and our value. There are big goals and big dreams, but dreams are made for people like Spartans who share a sense of purpose and a special bond. To be a Spartan is to be a part of something big. Spartans are determined and passionate about our mission. Beyond resilient, if we should fall, we strive to rebound at an even higher plane, an even higher level. There are more than 500,000 Spartans at work today on every continent, rising to practically every challenge imaginable. And you, our faculty and staff, are the backbone of this great university. We're here to serve our students and our society. So it's up to all of us to build a university of excellence others around the world would want to emulate, not just in 7 years, but in 150. We'll rise to this challenge. We are Michigan State Universities because Spartans will. Thank you for joining us today, and we're now recognizing some of the people who exemplify the high-performing culture that is Michigan State University's legacy and its destiny. Thanks very much.